I would like to focus first on the fact that this was a bilateral agreement between the United States and the Taliban, but also speaking as an American would note that many Americans don't always see the Trump administration as reflecting American values. And we have an election coming up in 4 months. So at the moment, I think one of the great difficulties of any Afghan peace process is you're not sure which side America is on because America hasn't yet chosen a side. And that's not going to clear up for probably 4 months. So it's really important in terms for Afghans to look at this of understanding that they need to focus on their own interests right now. And if this gives an opportunity for an internal dialogue between Afghans on the Taliban side and on the other side, that should be taken advantage of because this is something that's been lacking. And if the Doha agreement merely opens a line of exchange for a serious talk between Afghans, I think it's worthwhile. But another thing, and turning the Taliban have certainly, I really doubt, not necessarily those in Doha, but as a movement that they have, that they still believe they can win. And the history of Afghan insurgency is as such that Afghan insurgencies have driven foreigners out of Afghanistan 4 times in the past 175 years. No insurgency has ever come to power as long as a major power stood behind. So one of the things that the Taliban should realize is they're in a great negotiating position right now, but they're not in a wonderful military position. You can hold all the rural regions of Afghanistan that you want, but you're not going to be able to gear up to take the country. So you're better off negotiating now with a perceived strength on the political side because militarily you can't really follow through. They run a great insurgency. They can't put an army in the field. I think that when we talk about that the Taliban must accept the Afghan constitution, what we should really talk about is the principles of that constitution. That constitution in terms of how it actually runs governance is very flawed, but it has very important principles. And I think this would be an opportunity to say, how do we get a fairer Afghanistan that would include not only participation of the Taliban on a political basis, but the participation of all groups for Afghanistan. This is a chance to move out of what has been an unfortunate tradition in Afghanistan of Afghan autocracy. So this is an opportunity, I think, for a very, very productive discussion. It may not immediately lead to peace, but it should have a debate that goes beyond a bilateral debate, but it involves all of Afghanistan as to how do we get a political process that all Afghans can participate in and have confidence in.